So go right there. Hey, you're strong. Is everybody ready? All right, so we're going to go over the pelvis first. There are 3 bones of the pelvis that you have to know. The main bone up here is the ilium. If we look, we have a bone that goes right here. That is the pubic bone. And then we have a bone that comes up through here, all right, and that is the ischium. All right, so those are our 3 main bones. If we look at it and go back to the ilium, the top of the ilium is called the iliac crest. All right, the iliac crest comes to a point in the front called the ASIS, which is the anterior superior iliac spine. On you guys, if you push right there, that's the anterior superior iliac spine. If we go to the back of it, the iliac crest goes to this knob in the back. That's called the PSIS, the posterior superior iliac spine. And yes, you guys have to tell me posterior superior iliac spine. You don't get away with PSIS. All right. If we go down here to the pubic bone, we have an opening in it called the called the obturator foramen. And then we have where the 2 pubic bones meet, and that is called the pubic symphysis. If we turn sideways and we look at the ischium, we have this thickening of the ischium that is called the ischial tuberosity. So if I'm looking for the ischial tuberosity, I'll pinch right there. If I'm looking for the ischium, then I'll kind of circle the whole bone itself. All right. So ischial tuberosity, and then we have the acetabulum. All right, that is where the head of the femur articulates. All right. And then, the last one on here that wasn't on there, if I turn them over, you see the little point here? That is called the ischial spine. All right. Now, if I were to take this apart and I took just one half, so if I had this half, each half is called the coaxa. Okay, so the coaxa would be the ilium, the ischium, and the pubic bone all together. Good? If we look at the lower extremity, this is the head of the femur. This is the neck of the femur. We have our first big knob here. This is called the greater trochanter. If I spin them around and we look at them behind, we have a lesser knob. This is the lesser trochanter. Okay, greater trochanter, lesser trochanter. If we spin to the back, you see this line running down it. That's called the linea alba. All right. If I go back to the front, we come down. We have flares, just like on the humerus, right? They are epicondyles. If we look at the head of the femur, that's always medial. So therefore, this is the medial epicondyle. This then would be the lateral epicondyle. If I turn them over on the back, we've got these rounded knobs as well. All right, these guys are called condyles. So again, if this is the head of the humerus, head of the femur, then this is the medial condyle. This would be the lateral condyle. If we spin to the front, we have this little guy sitting here on the top. That is the patella, right, or the kneecap. If we go down here, we do have a flare on this bone. This is the tibia. These guys are called condyles. So again, if we're looking at it, the fibula, right, is always medial. So if I'm looking at this, this is the medial condyle of the tibia. This is the lateral condyle of the tibia. We have our little attachment there for the quadricep, right? That is called the tibial tuberosity. If we slide down to the ankle, a little ankle bone on the outside, right? That is the lateral malleolus. Do you have a little ankle bone on the inside? That's the medial malleolus. This bone itself is the fibula. So you have to know the medial malleolus, and you have to know the head of the fibula. All right? If we're looking at the ankle, there are 2 specific bones of the ankle that you have to know. We're looking here. This is the heel. The heel is also known as the calcaneus. All right? The heel really doesn't articulate with the tibia. All right? This bone right here does. That's the talus. Talus articulates with the tibia. The rest of these bones here, they have names, but for our purposes, they're just going to be called the tarsals, just like the bones of the wrist were the carpals. If these are the tarsals then we go to these bones that make up the main part of the foot, and they are the metatarsals, right? And then if we go down to here, these are the phalanges. And just like the hand, we have a distal, a middle, and a proximal phalange. Good? Everybody all right? Cool. Shoot.
You said on the